Okay, we're going to take a look at how we can simplify our radical expressions. And before we start this, I want you to go over your perfect squares. And let's take a quick rundown. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared gives you 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. 8 squared is 64. 9 squared is 81, and 10 squared is 100. So if I asked you what the square root of 4 is, your answer would be, well, it's 2. So if you take a look at your simplified radical form worksheet, you see that you do have those perfect squares in there. So what I would like for you to do before you go any further, stop the video, go back and find all the perfect squares and put their answers next to them. I got you started with the square root of 4. Go back and do square root of 0 and square root of 1 and go all the way up to 100. Now remember, you're only going to focus on your perfect squares. Then when you're done with that, turn the video back on. Okay, I hope you got them all. Now we're going to go back and pick up some of the ones that you didn't do. For example, let's take the square root of 12. Well, 12 is not a perfect square, right? But I do know, in fact, that the square root of 12 is the product of the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. I do know that the square root of 4 is 2, so that comes out and my 3 stays under. So the square root of 12 is 2 times the square root of 3. Let's try square root of 18. It's our next one. So square root of 18. A perfect square. Can you tell me what a perfect square might be inside of that 18? Did you tell me that would be a 9? Square root of 9 times square root of 2. And I know the square root of 9, right? That's 3. So I'd have 3 square root of 2. All right, let's do one more. What's the next one? Square root of 20. Okay. Can you think of a perfect square that's inside the 20? Did you come up with 4? So we would have square root of 4 times the square root of 5, and my square root of 4 would come out as 2, and my square root of 5 would stay in. All right, so I want you to go now back and finish up the ones that you did not get. Remember that you're trying to find a perfect square inside of the ones that you were not able to simplify. So the square root of 12, I found my 4. The square root of 18, I found my 9. And the square root of 20, I found my 4. All right? So you finish up the rest of those, and we will check those when you get back to class.